back in '97 after we'd been through a bunch of hurricanes and stuff. And we said, hey, why don't you help us clean out this giant garbage pit we have? It was just full of like branches and roofs from people's houses during hurricanes. And in the middle of scooping it out, he shut the bucket down and he cracked it. And that's just the aquifer water coming up out of our water table. That's just well water. The cool thing is we never had to touch it. The frogs jumped in, so we did throw in the water hyacinth. But all the other plant life you see around the edge, that's from bird droppings. That's the most common way plants spread, by birds. Of course, we threw in the fish, and that turtle showed up 3 days ago. We have no idea where it came from.
Where's the turtle?
You guys see him right in the middle there? Actually, it's the first good look I've gotten.
Yeah, over there.
That's literally somebody's escaped house pet. Somebody might have gotten rid of it in a stream or something. How it got into this pond, I haven't got the slightest clue. But yeah, he just showed up a couple days ago.
What, can he like hang out there? That's probably kind of weird, isn't it?
What's that?
Is he meant to be in water, or is he just in
Yeah,
there?
we're gonna pull him out because we don't want him in there. But yeah, it's one of those funny things. We actually don't have any device long enough to get him out right now. Unless he wants to hold on to that life ring there, but I'm not sure that would work so well. So last I saw, there was aluminum poles, duct tape, and a net. And I'm not sure how well that went because it's probably pretty heavy. But yeah, he'll be coming out of there. He'll probably go to someone's house and be a pet someday. But the cool thing is, there's no circulation of water in there. That should be stagnant because there's no water flowing in, no water flowing out. Well, water is oxygenated by flow. You think of when you have a fish tank, you got to have the water circulating through. Or in nature, you've got
moving water.
Waterfalls, you got wind, you got rain. This should be stagnant, yet it's thriving. There's a ton of life in there. So how does it stay alive? Yeah.
Yep.
Plants. They sit around, they absorb sunlight, they create genetically mint. It has no flavor. It has no taste whatsoever.
What a waste.
Yeah, it lost it. And you know, you think like, evolution isn't like a fish woke up and decided to go for a run one day. You imagine, you guys ever planted a plant and you look at the flowers every year it blooms and one year one of the flowers looks weird?
Yep.
Just natural mutations. That happens. So imagine a mint plant. Say a bird carries a dozen of them out here and it poops them out, and we got 12 mint plants in the middle of nowhere in Hawaii long before humans ever came along. Well, animals aren't eating those plants because they don't like the taste of it. So those seeds aren't spreading. And then instead of having a mutated flower, maybe you get a mutated seed. And that one plant that grows from that one seed has no mint flavor to it. Well, the animals go, I like that one. So they eat it. And then the seed spreads. And that keeps happening over and over again until the minty one dies out because nothing's spreading it. It's not carrying on its genetics. That's what happened here. Here in Hawaii, like I said, 95% of all the plants you see don't belong here. They're introduced. We have 268 species in Hawaii that are on the verge of extinction. We have 50% of all endangered species in the entire country right here in Hawaii. That's a ridiculous amount. Anyone want to guess, since we got 50% of the problem, what percentage of federal funding do we get to help with that problem? Anyone got any guesses?
Less than one.
Yeah, we get 2% of it. That doesn't make a lick of sense. That's where places like us come in. Doesn't matter what budget cuts happen, what policy changes, anything like that. We get together with the scientific community and we find out what we think is best for humankind. Behind you is a really good example of why we do this work. If anybody recognize this? It's a very common ground cover, and where you live, it's probably about that big. Not quite, it's very similar, has a very similar flower, and patient will have a slightly serrated leaf edge. It's hard to recognize because it's so darn big. It's an annual, and it's a ground cover where you're from. What's that?
Oh, pansies.
No, are you guys familiar with vinca?
Vinca.
Yeah, vinca or periwinkle. Yeah, vinca's everywhere. So this stuff comes from Madagascar. Anybody ever heard the medicinal story of vinca?
Nope.
Awesome. In Madagascar, a native tribe makes a tea out of that. They drink it as a folk remedy for diabetes. Now, with anything that's toxic in small enough amounts over a long period of time, your body will somewhat adapt and grow tolerant to it. So they go and they grab a bunch of these flowers, take them back, make a tea, go to one of the universities in Canada, and they start feeding this tea concoction to rabbits lab rabbits, and then they study the rabbits' blood sugar levels to see what the changes are. And lo and behold, it didn't do anything for the rabbits' blood sugar levels. What it did do, it actually destroyed the rabbits' white blood cells and killed them. About 70 poisonous elements in this plant. 2 of those poisonous elements are what killed the rabbit's blood cells. Today we use these cancer treatments, targeting cancers of the blood. 2 chemotherapy treatments come from this. One's called vinblastine, used to treat Hodgkin's lymphomas. We also have one called vincristine, used to treat leukemia. We're already into October by quite a bit, but last month in September I had 7 kids who were alive from vincristine treatments. They're alive from this flower. It takes like 3,000 pounds of flowers to make one dose of a person's treatment. You know, we're under the impression that we can just like synthesize medicines from thin air. 93% of all medicines still come from plants and plants. Chances are, guys and gals, cure for everything, for most things, the fix, it might be out there. We just don't know it. We've only managed to study about 3/4 of 1% of all plants for medicinal value. It's the most common plant that you can buy at Home Depot, Walmart, and have that much use. What about the stuff that's about to disappear? Once it's gone, it's gone, guys. We lost our chance. That's what this place is all about. You guys get to enjoy the happy, the pretty stuff, but really, that's why we exist. We're out there making sure that the stuff stays around, so we have a chance to get to it someday and study it. Really, I just say that because I know that deep down inside, 1 or 2 of you were thinking, "Man, $50 is a lot of money for this guy." That's how I guilt you guys into feeling bad about talking bad about the price. It's a lot of interesting work. Kauai fern actually comes from parts of Guinea. Brought in the modern day, but brought in because we use this to make a lot of our hula implementations. The haku lays around the wrists and the heads and things like that.
Thank you.
These are tiny. The big showy ones, that's humans. We breed them to look that way. This is what we call hibiscus clayi, and this only exists in about a 10 square mile area in the entire world, right here in Kauai. The only place that exists is in the mountains above Kauai. You don't find it anywhere else in the world. There's actually 3 hibiscus that are native just to Kauai, endemic to Kauai, they don't, but nowhere else. And again, kind of like with the whole mint thing, bird probably pooped that thing out someday. That thing grew for years and years and years, wasn't being pollinated, and then one day one of those flowers grew kind of funny and something found a way to pollinate it. And that's how new species appear. Just random encounters. Coming along here, some really important Hawaiian things. Breadfruit. How are you familiar with breadfruit?
We did the chocolate store, Woodgate chocolate store.
Steelgrass Farms.
We cooked it last night.
How many of and you guys, well, let me start this off first by saying, how many of you came here purely because Hawaii has nice weather and that's the only reason? How many of us came here because there's a culture? There's something special. There's a unique native culture here. Hawaiians, man, do you guys ever heard the story of the Hawaiian voyage?
Yes.
It's miraculous. Marcations are sitting down about 2,300 miles to the southeast of us, and every year this bird flies north. So year after year, they watch that bird fly north, they'll find that one guy goes, "Hey Steve, I'll bet you if them birds is going north, there's something up there." And they followed it. That's a traditional Hawaiian accent, by the way. They followed those birds, built big canoes, set sail, 3 months of sailing on the open ocean, following bird migration, stars, and all that. They landed here in the Hawaiian Islands. Traveled 2,300 miles. Anyone know where the Pacific golden plover? That was the bird they were following. It's called the Pacific golden plover. Anyone know where that bird flies to every year if it flies to the north? What's that?
Western coast.
You'll find them all up, mostly up in Alaska. This is where they migrate in the wintertime. They come down here where it's warm. Look, everybody, a group of tourists. Oh, it's like looking into a mirror. So yeah, bird flies north, Polynesians follow it. Can you imagine if they'd missed? There'd be little Polynesian popsicles up there somewhere around Alaska. For everything to have fallen into place is pretty cool. And now here we are because of it. So we like to talk about a lot of the native, the what we call canoe plants, things Polynesians brought. Breadfruit is an amazing thing. Did they talk about the nutritional value of breadfruit at all at Steelgrass? So Dr. Diane Ragoni did her doctoral thesis on breadfruit. Is the first person in the world to have cataloged all 300 species of it. Her office is about a quarter mile that way. She's the world's authority on it. This particular variety is from Samoa. When it's fresh off the tree like this, rock hard. Well, actually, these ones are starting to ripen a little bit, starting to soften. We picked these off yesterday. Pretty hard. You would cook this like a potato. Any recipe for a potato, you could sub it, fry it, mash it, chip it, whatever you want to do. Tastes like a cross between like potatoes and sweet potatoes. If I let this ripen for a couple of days, it'll start to get soft. This one's starting to ripen. If I go and I peel this one open, it feels and tastes like avocado. That is a very neutral flavor. You can make that just like avocado. It has no fat. Now, the other cool thing is this one here is already starting to ripen completely. This is rock hard, day 1 and 2. This is about day 3 and 4. By about day 4, I'll pass this one around. This one is starting to turn sweet. And it actually tastes a little bit like banana, and it smells a little bit like banana and mango. I can pass that around. If you're brave, you can taste a piece of it.
Day one, it's potato. Then it becomes guacamole, and now it's.
That's exactly right. And then it turns into like banana flavored poi. The most amazing thing about that, though, is this one's called Autocarpus talaceus. It's the most nutritionally complete one. This food is so nutritionally complete, you could live off of it for up to 70 years straight. It has everything the human body needs. It's a complete protein. It has all the amino acids, carbohydrate, protein. This is changing the face of ending world hunger. We send these saplings all around the world, 177,000 saplings.